What's up, Jay? How you doing? Aw, thanks, chatting. Or are you seeing what things we replace and which ones we don't? That's fine. You can actually just get the list. Building a key value store in 300 lines of code. Boom, I did it in one. I'm kidding. I know that's not what you meant. Sorry. Bad joke. Bad joke. Hey, what's up, CyberExploit? How you doing? Oh, yeah, let me launch up over on YouTube. Yeah, sorry, I got started a bit late. But yeah, let me pop out the chat just in case someone chats over there. Yeah, we're hopping onto the YouTube a bit later than normal today. Sorry about that. We've pushed everything that we've done so far. Yeah, so we should have all of the bugs fixed, right? Like, you should be able to run it now. I would say double check it just to be sure. But yeah, we fixed the one about IndexedDB not being spun up in time. We fixed the one about the state management not being updated on your current snippet. And now we're just going to knock out these two, like, quality of life improvements. Yeah, we're not going to get that last one today, though. Right, so the streaming instead of, like, request response, nah. Number of threads, 16. How quickly does it process audio for you, FD? That sounds amazing. Oh, I appreciate that. I also really do appreciate it when people watch on the YouTube, though, because my watch numbers are going down because we've hit, like, the full year now. So I need to actually just release some, like, actual video content. Ugh. Yeah, it's the first time in a year that the public watch hours have gone down. But, whatever. So yeah, automatically creating a snippet when creating a chapter. So the idea is here, if we were to create a new chapter, we go to foo, and we see snippets not found. You can create one using the menu above. We should just create a snippet when we do that, right? That's just a better experience. Yeah, it's all right, Owen. You got this, man. All right, so which Which page is this? Here, right? No, not there. It's here in app. That's right. How long did you record for? And which model are you using? So yeah, 6 seconds. You'd probably benefit from lowering the thread count then. Technically, when you are... Okay, tiny. So, for at least all of my testing, using all of the available threads is actually slower. And I'm not sure why. So if you cut it in half, I bet you'll be better off. And you should end up seeing some, like, red text basically telling you that right now, too. Right, FD? Okay, just double checking that. So yeah, try it with less. Yeah, exactly, Jay. Yeah, so that's the trickier part. Like, all it's doing is detecting how many are available. Yeah, so Omni, just keep in mind, we're talking about specifically for this app. So right now I've got 2 threads. I would probably get better performance from only 1. Right, just depends on your hardware though. So let's find this button. And yeah, this component's a bit large. You can think of it as basically our layout. Yeah, so when we create a chapter, that's going to be that button. It's going to be nested within this stuff. So that's the on move logic. We don't care about that part. We get into here, we start rendering those out. And it is this button here. So yeah, add chapter. We do set current book, open create modal, create chapter modal, and that is defined up here, but that's not it. What we want is that. Just used way down here. Not ideal. But on submit, We create a new chapter, but we haven't created a new snippet for it yet. All right, and we just name it new snippet, so that part's easy enough. Then over here, the modal manager, we're just using Mantine's like modals. Oh, no, I think I know what you're talking about. I ran into some major issues with the modal manager and reactive data. For this, we wouldn't have a problem, but for, I think, Vexilla, maybe, we had some issues with it. Like, basically, when using the modal manager, the thing inside the modal is no longer, like, reactive. It could have changed in recent versions of Mantine, but at least when we were doing it, they weren't updating. It was basically like the modal would cache the data that was passed into it. Right? And then when we updated it externally and then reopened that same modal, it was still cached data instead of like the reactive updated data. Or something like that. I wish I had documented the issue better. Yeah, I'd have to really like figure out and reproduce it. I don't have it documented anywhere though, so that's on me. So it might be totally fine. I think what we were doing was totally an edge case. So, yeah, I don't necessarily blame Mantine for it, because we were probably abusing it in some way. Yeah, it's a great library. But yeah, for what I'm using, I just use their modal component instead, I think. Oh, yeah. So it would be up here. Let me double check and look at our imports. And I'm just going to do that so that we get some changes so I can navigate back easy. Yeah, so I'm not using the modal manager at all. Yeah, I just use the component. It works fine for what I'm doing. What's my bundle size? I'm not too concerned with my bundle size, but we can go look at it. Basically, this is an application in which there is no server, right? It's all like static assets. So bundle size is actually one of my smaller concerns. Wait, what? Hold on, I thought we fixed this bug. Oh no. Oh no. Hold on, that could be a caching thing. Alright, so we still got that bug. Oh, really, chatting? That's a bummer. Yeah. Do you think I'm shit-faced or something right now? Dude, I just started a whiskey, and I've sipped that much of it, man. I think you are being overly judgmental. I know, right? My guess is they're just another one of my trolls or something. Lack of a follow, that's their first message. Possibly a member of that one Discord. There's at least one streamer who I believe operates a Discord and is pretty much where all of my trolls kind of congregate. There you go, FD. So yeah, lowering the threads work. No. No, as far as I know, people are chill over there. I'm friendly with Theo, I think. Like, as far as I know. I'll happily chat and hang out with him at conferences and stuff. Starts with an M? No. They're a late night streamer. Yeah, I'm not sure what this bug is. I could have sworn we fixed that. Maybe I just didn't push? Yeah, exactly, Swampy. Yeah, let's just do this one. All right, so because I've had people trolling on their behalf mentioning their name, and I've gone into that Discord to see it. I've also chatted on their stream, and their trolls were wiling. Like, yeah. Yeah, they have some weird obsession with me. It's weird. Owen Codes knows. He went into their stream recently, and someone in their chat was like, oh, he's a CM Griffin viewer, and then attacked them, like, personally. Like, just really toxic. Yeah. Yeah. Like, you know, it's fine. It's whatever. All right, so hold on. I think Part of the problem is we ran into a weird state. I don't think it was due to that. That's right. We wanted to create the OPFS clearing thing. Oh, Jay, yes. You are definitely familiar with them. That's right. Yeah, no, I've definitely seen you over there. Yeah, like, they have a weird obsession with me, don't they? Like, it's kind of strange. I haven't checked for a long time, but for a while, they'd mention me at least weekly over in that stream. It's crazy. Let me get more music on, though. Yeah. That old Forester sucked. That one was bad. Right? Standard Old Forester, good. That one was like a different one, and I hated it. No, chatting. It's a few. Jay knows. It's really just a toxic community. Like, super toxic. Alright, so that was our fix. So yeah, I forgot about that. We almost need to, like, force a clearing of the OPFS stuff. Oh yeah, or, you know, if you hang out over on gaming, I'll tell you there. We just don't need to, like, propagate it here. There's no value in that. So yeah, did anyone else have trouble actually loading this? Okay, so it's really only for people that had already created. Yeah, okay, so it's if you had already done it. Oh, so chatting, you had tried it before and it failed, then you deleted cache and it worked fine? Okay. Yeah. That was the issue. Maybe we just set like a timer on that intro screen, and if it stays loading for too long? Yeah, so FD, you hadn't tried to load it for a while though, right? Such that your cache was probably cleared already, like the cache of the assets and all that stuff. Had you ever tried to load it, actually? You had, huh? And if you do a hard refresh, it still works? No, I just want to prompt the user. I don't want to clear someone's cache automatically. But, I mean, we could just run that one snippet. I'd still want to prompt the user for it. Now, I'd want to pop open a modal and say, like, it appears you've gotten into a bad state. The only way to fix it is to clear your OPFS state, but that will also delete any of the data that you've created already. Right? So give people the out for that. Right? That way people opt in or out, and then maybe at some point. We could provide them a way of exporting it. No, I don't know why it's happening. We're not able to get like the right logs anywhere about it. But OPFS is there. We should be able to just read from OPFS. So when we pop open that modal, we can give the user the option to download and back up their data, and then do another button to clear the cache. And then once they've done that, they can always just reload their data in. I think that's a good compromise. Then we're not doing anything on their behalf. They have the option to back it up. I'm not 100% certain that would work, and I'm not sure how to actually reproduce that error case. So I think that's the trickier part. I don't know how to actually reproduce that. Yeah. So we're going to at least throw it into our plans. Yeah, there's no logs that make any sense for it. Yeah, it just like pauses and dies. And then I think we'd still have to like cause a refresh, which is doable. Or maybe just like after they've done a delete, prompt them to refresh. All right, so we got two issues we need to create. I don't think those are pressing right now. So yeah, let's go back to creating a snippet when creating a chapter. Okay, so then we're on the wrong page. The chapter view is where we do this part. I just want to see the logic we're using for creating a snippet, so I don't want to have to do that myself. Right, like, we can do it nice and easy. Yeah, there is a memory leak around that somewhere. That one's a bit trickier because we have to like spawn and recreate the Whisper model based upon the threads that we want to do it for. Yeah, that memory leak, that one's tougher. Like, look at how much RAM you're consuming, Imam, right? Head to Activity Monitor or whatever, and yeah, it's a bit. Yeah, so chatting on a yoinked phone, all of those, like, reticulating spleens and all that stuff, that's taken from SimCity. That's like an Easter egg, like, reference kind of thing. Even when you load The Sims, they do the same thing. And it dates all the way back to SimCity. That was the first game to do it. Where it's like, it's a fake, like, loading screen. Not like fake, like they're loading, but like the thing they're loading when they're saying it is total just BS. Yeah, exactly. So wait, now we have this bug again? What the hell? Yeah, we can't even reproduce this. Alright, so the deployed version is cursed. For me, at least. This is just a side project. Why are you so wonky? Oh, interesting. So it's because we had stale other state 2. So we may want to introduce a timer or timeout when you change model as well, like if it takes too long and it's stuck at 0%. Hey, we encountered an error and it requires you to clear your site data. This will not delete your OPFS data, but you will have to re-download models. I think that would be reasonable. And I think a big part of it was because we already had that model downloaded, actually, but it wasn't detecting it when this logic was running. Because if you... Yeah, we can't show it now, basically. But this thing right here was showing more data than just what's in OPFS right now, in the file system. Interesting. Alright. Yeah, that's another fun, tricky bug. So let's find that string. Add snippet. Create new snippet is defined right there. And it's basically just this logic. So then, yeah, for this part, yeah, so try clearing cache real quick. I think we've got a bug somewhere in the logic that's checking if we have the model downloaded already. My guess is you actually have that model downloaded. Like, can you just click save and try it and see if it works real quick before clearing your cache? Because now I don't think I can actually reproduce it. Yeah, so that logic right there, when it showed 0%, I think that's the part that failed. But because it was showing loading, right, save was, like, blocked out. And hey, what up, Balaraju? How you doing? What you up to? Thank you for hanging out over on the YouTube. Appreciate it. Oh, you're getting a blocked by client? That should just be, like, do a hard refresh. Oh, sorry, Mom. Oh, yeah, plausible is blocked by client. Is that actually breaking people's functionality, though? And yeah, sorry, 1 second, Mom. Huh. Yeah, it shouldn't be blocking plausible, because plausible is not doing any cookie stuff or anything crazy there, but yeah, some ad blocker would block it. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm not sure what the fix or issue there would be. So I guess I need to start testing this with uBlock. Sure. Yeah, the blocks by client does, like, if it's the plausible script that's getting blocked. Yeah, that looks about right. Yeah, if plausible is getting blocked, that sounds like uBlock, right? So wait, you're saying I do this, I then create a snippet, and then from here refresh? So yeah, that seemed right to me. All right, well, let me fiddle with it. Let me at least get this done. That way I don't leave it before forgetting. Oh, hold on. All right, now this is saying it can't be undefined. Okay. Okay, so you're saying if I create a new snippet, Boo Bar Baz Bat. And my poor little Mac Mini is sweating. Do you realize what you've done? What's up, Owen? How you doing? Yeah, Omni, it's a 2015 Mac Mini. Okay, so it worked. Now if I refresh, that worked. If I try and switch to another model, it works. So yeah, I can't reproduce the issue. Did you let the audio complete, or did you refresh while it was in the middle? Right? Like, did it work? Will it blend? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, if I can't reproduce it, I can't fix it. So, yeah, I don't know. You're welcome to try. What's up, Filter? How you doing? Alright, so I got a lot of video editing to do tonight. I can allow myself one more of these beverages. But yeah, like, heavy video editing tonight. Got a video that really should have been done sooner, but I had to focus on some other ones today. Doesn't look like anybody is pushing back. And Boss Gans, thank you for the follow. Let me know how to pronounce your name better. Oh, you're saying like it gets stuck. Yeah, I haven't seen it getting stuck at anywhere other than 0%. What browser, etc. And yeah, if you can consistently reproduce it, and you can maybe do some screenshots and some other things, feel free to create an issue on the GitHub. Yeah, that's the tough part. Yeah, for sure. Most of the stuff I work on here on stream is open source. There's only a couple things that wouldn't be. I think the only thing that isn't open source that I've ever worked on here on stream is Walter. Alright, so yeah, here we'd want to show the toast about failure. I think that's kind of necessary. And yeah, that is a Mantine notifications error that is happening, I think, in settings mobile. We're doing it in... Nope, not in main. Oh, it's in snippet. Could not create a new chapter. Boom. Okay, so we've got the part where we create a new snippet, right? When we create a chapter. Ooh, but not. Oh. Yeah, we weren't running our dev server, so that was some stale state. Hey, all right, cool. So that one works. Next step is just creating a chapter and a snippet for it when we create a book. I don't know if I actually want to do that, right? Because the rename is like way over here. So it's maybe unintuitive. I think creating the snippet when we create a chapter is worth it for now, right? What do y'all think? Should we create a chapter and snippet when we create a book? Audio manager to manage input devices. Your browser does that. All right, that's on you. Now, a waveform to show an animation, sure. I think, technically, we'll have to think about that, because in our plans, we actually plan on maybe doing the streaming instead of a request response. So I'd rather get this working before we even attempt to do like a waveform. Yeah, I'm not certain I actually want to do the create a chapter and snippet when creating a book. That's fine. Like I said, feel free to create issues. But yeah, our next steps for Orderly are to create those specific issues. No, it's not for conversion of any kind. It's dictation. So if you wanted to write a book, do you want to have to type out a book? Or would you rather dictate a book? Nah, we did this a little while back. I think this is something we made for... we just did this for our own side project. Do I actually describe where the idea came from? Yeah. Inspired by an episode of Columbo. It had an author dictating his novel chapters into a tape recorder, and he would send that tape off to a third party to type it up for him. Right? This is basically that. At which point, yes, we probably should have named it after that author. Columbo episode... Novelist, maybe? No. Murder by the Book. Whoa! Steven Spielberg directed that episode? That's amazing! I didn't know that. Wait, what the hell photo is that? That is not Peter Falk. What the hell? Alright, Google, you're getting worse. Like, what the hell, dude? Google, you are getting way worse. Oh, this is definitely the episode, though. Yeah, this is the guy that plays, like, the murderer. Sorry, spoiler alert, but shit's 40 years old at this point, so come on, deal with it. 50 years old, actually. It's just pure speech to text. That's it. Right? So think about it this way. Do you have any tool out there that helps you write a book? Right? For dictation that is free? No, you're going to use something like Dragon Naturally Speaking or some other BS. This is basically using Whisper.cpp wired up to a browser with a UI to make organizing a book better. So if I was going to write a new book, let's just call it Harry Potter and the Columbo Mystery. Is there one built into Windows that actually helps you, like, structure an entire book? I think there is some dictation stuff, right? But it is not like organizing a book for you. Yeah. So for me, I specifically wanted it for this purpose because I have a book I want to write. Let's just say chapter 1. Why not? So then here, oh yeah, we're still on here, right? We go add snippet. Introduction. And that's already a book? Well, shit. And hold on. Yeah, let's do this. No, I haven't. But I want to, and I need a tool that makes it to where I don't have to type the whole thing out. Harry Potter sits on the stoop of his family's dwelling. They hate him there, as always. Columbo rolls up and lets him know that one of his friends was murdered. Right, so then, yes, it's going to take a while, because my poor Mac Mini. And that wasn't even good writing. Ugh. No, you think Harry murdered his friend? I think it's what's his, like, brother, or, like, half-brother's name or whatever? Kingsley or whatever? I think Kingsley did it to frame him. They want it to look like Harry did it, for sure. So yeah, there we go. Harry Potter sits on the stoop of his family's dwelling. They hate him there, as always. Columbo rolls up and lets him know that one of his friends was murdered. Right, so then, bam, yeah, we got the audio. Let's do another one. All right, so we're going to insert something after it. Kingsley is watching. Kingsley is watching from the window, sneering, smiling. Columbo doesn't see him yet, or so he thinks. I'm not sure. I haven't tested that. With this poor Mac Mini, I don't know. I haven't given it a shot. You can try and let me know how it works. How about that? Production-driven development. The goal is to keep it to like 30-second chunks, because then you get like the power of like reordering things. Right, so now let's insert something after, like, the scene. On a shit. On a dark and stormy night, in the city wherever Harry Potter lives, because I forgot that part, we can hear an owl hooting in the distance, and cars honking. There's something unrestful in the city. Let's get down to it and figure out what. Oh, it's not going to filter out the swear word. Dudley it's his cousin? Okay, Dudley. Kingsley, Dudley, same thing. Thank you, Cinder. Yeah. I haven't read the books. I don't know. So yeah, again, this is expected to be better on a more modern device. This Mac Mini is not a modern device. On a dark, little shit. On a dark and stormy night in the city wherever Harry Potter lives, because I forgot that part, we can hear an owl hooting in the distance and cars honking. There's something unrestful in the city. Well, let's get down to it and figure out what. No, it's fine. I can just send it to you too. Right? And then here we've got it recorded, and this is where, like, yeah, I don't want to type out the entire book. No. This is a 2015 Mac Mini, meaning it's an Intel Core Duo. So yeah, let's just, on a dark and stormy night in the city wherever Harry Potter lives, there is something uneasy about this night in the city. There we go. Let's get down to it and figure it out. Sure. So then, yeah, we've done some editing. The status there didn't update, so that's a bummer. So then, yeah, realistically, let's start out with the scene. There we go. And then introduction here. No, this is going to be more like, meet Harry. There we go. Right? So that's the idea, like being able to like move and drag around and fiddle with this stuff. This is kind of the precursor to another writing tool I want to make, where let's just imagine you have like arcs that characters need to go through, things they need to actually like have happen. You're not sure what characters to fill in the blanks, so you can like leave a variable for a character that would be the person they're talking to, because the conversation is really just about exposition and character growth. So the person they're talking to doesn't necessarily matter. So you write out a series of like conversations where this character needs to say some things or have some stuff happen. And then you can like eventually take these arcs and figure out how to glue them together in a clean and easy way that then creates its own like season long like episodic like grouping. So yeah, I know it's a very vague way of describing it. It's a thing I've had in my head for years that I really want to turn into a writing tool of some kind for writing TV shows that maintain like series long or season long arcs of like character growth, or like a series of conversations like recurring jokes or whatever, and being able to plug and play and mix and match which actors are like taking part. Because then eventually I think like other arcs will suss themselves out, or you can like mix and match two arcs together, like all sorts of stuff like that. I really want to build a TV show writing tool that is based around like more than just a single episode. When I say TV show, I just mean a series, right? So it could be a streaming show too. I don't care where the medium is, but it's more like episodic shows. Right? An episodic show where all the episodes like glue together rather than just being a sitcom. right? So not an episode of Friends. I'm talking about like Breaking Bad. I want to be able to write a Breaking Bad like series that has character growth and arcs and things that you're trying to say with it, etc. Right? Like once you have these, like, you don't even need to attach a character to the like the conversations that might be like recurring jokes or whatever. You could have different people fill in differently. Like it would be very much like a plug and play book writing tool. I want to create the characters, create the conversations all separate from each other, and then link things up, basically. That is my goal. And I don't mind saying this to people because if you make it, I'll use it. But so far, no one's made it. So I think if I want it, I'm going to have to make it myself. Which is fine. I love building stuff. So yeah, this is basically my first attempt at creating a writing tool, nowhere near at the scope of what I'm talking about for that like episodic show writing tool. But I do still think something episode based is worth it. I think writing a film is far more straightforward. Writing a series is tough. But I still want to be able to maybe dictate into it. So this was a proof of concept for the dictation part. There's also just a book I want to write. Like, I'm not even kidding. There is a book I want to write. I gotta find where I put that notebook. But yeah, I've had this one recurring dream that I think would be, I don't know, like a fun probably like young adult film. Not like young adult like love triangle, but more think like Phantom Tollbooth kind of style. Or maybe, I don't want to say like Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Yeah, so Deja Vu, the amount of threads, turn the threads down. Crank the threads way down. Oh, wait. Never mind. No, you're saying that... Yeah, what did you have your settings at? I'm actually curious about that. So you recorded 65 seconds of audio and it only took 5 seconds to actually convert into text? That's a major success. I thought you were telling me about a failure it had. That's a win. So I just need to upgrade my Mac Mini. Smallest model and 2 threads. Awesome. Yeah. All right. Dude. So now we're cooking with portals or whatever. Now we're thinking with portals. All right. See, that gives me a little more hope because on this Mac Mini it doesn't seem that useful, right? But I haven't tried running it on my gaming PC yet, as an example. I haven't tried running it. I have tried running it on my works like MacBook Air. But it's a MacBook Air and I think it works best when you have like as much available RAM as possible, and this thing does not. Like, how much RAM do I have on this MacBook? It's really bad, actually. Oh, it's 24 gigs. That could be worse. That could be way worse. It is an M3. I don't know. I thought RAM was the issue. It might just be the fact that the Mac Mini doesn't have a GPU, whereas an M3 Max is treated like a GPU. And the unified memory is fast as hell. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know the exact constraints of what would make it better or worse. But there's no GPU in this Mac Mini, which means I'm CPU bound. And it's an Intel Core Duo. Maybe, but it did take some time. Like, it was faster than my Mac Mini, right? But yeah, the MacBook Air still wasn't like fast when I did that that meetup talk last week. Or 2 weeks ago. Time's an illusion. Yeah, Swampy, here's the thing. Always get as much RAM as possible. That's something my dad has preached about for years. When he built SMS 800 for like the 1-800 system, he was using like Samsung solid state memory back in like 1990. Right? He has always been a big proponent of you need more RAM than you think you do. And he always got pushback at any of the companies he designed systems for. But yes, he designed the computer system that ran every 1-800 number dialed in the US for probably quite a while. Like, there were upgrades along the way. He even requested $30 million worth of upgrades. And when they said, absolutely, without even questioning him, that's when he asked, wait, why? You guys always push back on budget upgrades, or on like upgrades to systems like this, because this was at Belcore. And then they told him something they shouldn't have told him, that they were overcharging the American public. And then they sued him to keep him quiet. He defended himself and won. But it did work because those court documents were sealed. I believe I have those court documents. Like my dad's records from this. And we're way past statute of limitations now, so... yeah, maybe I'm gonna have to use this tool to write the screenplay. No, I get it, Omni, but, like, this was, like, to such a degree that, like, a quick $30 million, like, upgrade to the 1-800 system was like yeah, we gotta do it to justify how much we were charging people. Like criminal overcharging. Not necessarily, but Ma Bell had just been broken up a few years before that, right? Like, when did Ma Bell get broken? $1984. Yeah, they overcharged by so much that it was a blessing for them to actually, like, be able to spend this 30 mil. And that 30 mil was, like, just like a month or two after it was, like, made. So yeah, like, crazy stuff. I don't know about a month or two. I'd have to, like, look at the timeline. But basically, my dad only worked for Belcore for maybe, like, 2 years. So it was sometime within all of that stuff. And I would assume that he didn't launch this immediately, you know? It was probably at least, like, a year of building this thing. So yeah, 1984, Ma Bell was broken up. 1989, I believe, was actually the year that all this stuff went down. It's only 5 years later, so yeah, like, Ma Bell was probably really, or not Ma Bell, but Belcore was probably really, like, walking on eggshells. That's the term, right? So yeah, it makes sense to me. But yeah, I do need to read those court documents just to be sure. So this is all speculation until I actually read through thousands of pages of bullshit. Right? I'm only going off of like the story that my dad told me. That my mom corroborates. The saddest part is it's not the first time he was sued by a giant telecom. My dad still refers to Ross Perot as that little fucker. And my dad's not a tall person. So that's the fun part. When my dad can call someone that little fucker, damn, you know Ross Perot is short. Like, for sure. Yeah, exactly. Alright, so let's transfer these things to the issues. We'll at least refresh ourselves with what we want to do on like the voice acting. So yeah, we're gonna transfer these over to issues. Yeah, and my dad defended himself, and I think my dad lost against Ross Perot, which meant just, you know, the contracting company my dad had organized went bankrupt. That's no big deal. I think that was Teleconsultants, was the name of my dad's company at the time. That company got bankrupted. My dad created another one called Utilect. And then I think there was another one even called ProCubed. No, my guess is it was probably just so Ross Perot didn't have to like pay out the rest of my dad's contract or some bullshit. That's my guess. I don't know for sure. I have no idea. I don't know anything about the Ross Perot. I just know that it wasn't my dad's first time getting sued, and not my dad's first time defending himself in court. Yeah, did I mention that? My dad got sued by Belcor, defended himself in court, and won. They say a man... Hold on, what's the quote? Hold on, here it is. A whole article about it. They say that a man who represents himself in court has a fool for a client, and with God as my witness, I am that fool. Yeah, my dad's been that twice. So, yeah. But here's the thing, like... Yeah, second time's the charm, right? But no, my dad just read New Jersey state law books for a few months and defended himself in the finest tweed suits you've ever seen. Afro, mustache, receding hairline afro, by the way, right? I get my hairline from both sides of my family, but definitely my dad for sure. So receding hairline, little island in the front, but like perm. Like he would get a perm so he had just like the hair. He was a regular tie guy. Yeah. Yeah, my dad's great. You get your hairline from the milkman? Alright. Milk will cause your hair to recede? No. It's genetics. It's just genetics. In fact, the age-old... Oh, it's a joke on the milkman? Okay, gotcha. Never mind. I was gonna say real quick, though, yeah, like, male pattern baldness is caused by excess testosterone. Right? So people who are balding are just more manly, obviously. Oh, really? Yeah, I've never had it tested. It's just what I've heard. And that's probably just one of those old wives' tales that I'm just wrong about. Just like, it used to be common knowledge, that's totally wrong now, that balding was from your mom's side of the family. Nah. Both sides influence that. And I got balding on both sides of my family, so I'm just screwed. Yeah, like, just totally screwed. Nah, ball caps and beanies don't do it. It's purely genetics. It is purely genetics. Damn, really? Deja vu? Dude, okay. That's not so bad. So realistically, yeah, this feature of implementing streaming instead of a request-response cycle would actually nail it for you. Like, it'd be instant. Because we're waiting for the entire audio to be recorded, then we're passing it to the background process. So if it takes less time to process than it does to, like, actually do it, dude. And we just tested that the maximum there is reasonable. That is a very reasonable maximum, 5 minutes. Was that the maximum that you could do it for, or is that just like a fuzzy number? Did you get cut off, I guess? I may have imposed a maximum, I don't remember that. Still the same options. Yeah. You just got tired of talking. Okay, just want to make sure that. I can't remember if I added a timeout, and I don't remember where to look. So we're good. Oh, and yeah, for anyone that was asking about some of the other functionality, sorry, I forgot. Another big part of it is that, one, we could export the database as just the SQLite, so it's like portable, but we can also take the book and export it to a PDF, and then open that PDF, and we could have, like, just, you know, like, it's not good. We got a lot of work to do on, like, how this actually gets created. But all of our text is actually glued together as paragraphs, like, concatenated and blah, 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 right? So some of the publishing of it becomes easier too. So yeah, like, I don't know. I built an application that I thought was useful. Does that mean it's going to be useful for everyone? No, I built this for me. I built this for me. If it solves other people's use cases, that's just a bonus. But I built this specifically for me doing stuff. And some of the best applications are made that way. Or not best, but yeah, that's probably the wrong thing. The meaning of true power. I mean, honestly, just, I don't know why y'all got into programming. I'm an ideas guy that could never afford to pay people to build out their ideas, so I had to figure out how to make it myself. And my favorite thing is having an idea for something and making it real. 100 years ago, I would have tried to be an inventor. I would have had a bunch of terrible inventions, but I think I could have actually been successful in some. Nowadays, I really feel like the most approachable inventor aspect of things is software. We're still figuring this stuff out. This is still like the creation of the automobile style, like, infancy of the software revolution. Patent pending on that term, right? There was the Industrial Revolution. We're in the midst, and possibly still like the beginning era of the software revolution. That's my title. You can't take that title. Copyright. I said the word copyright, so you can't take it. Oh, I poured that one thick. It's alright. I just have video editing to do tonight. I don't need to actually record any clips or any of that. Assuming that the audio clips I got yesterday are good. So yeah, I'm just gonna be doing a bunch of like screen capture and motion graphics type stuff. Like tiny? Oh, you mean like whisper.cpp? Which is what you're hearing? I don't remember where I heard about whisper.cpp. I have no idea. Yeah, no clue. I think, no, I probably found it when I was like, I want to build a tool that lets me auto-bleep swear words from my stream, right? And in doing that discovery, that's when I discovered Whisper. I'm pretty sure that was something like that. I was like, there's got to be something where I can just do speech to text, right? Yeah, Sopronim, right? We're in the age of information, but I think, like, right? You could look at the Industrial Revolution era, or whatever. The Industrial Revolution is a sliver of a larger age, right? So what I'm getting at is, like, this isn't necessarily, like, yeah, we're in the information age, but the software revolution is how to use that information. I don't know. I'm still bullshitting on that. I don't know for sure. I just think it's an interesting, like, thought process about how to, like, understand the world around us and the chain of events and, like, you know, yeah, just how all this stuff works. Yeah, I don't think we need to classify the software revolution as a different part of the information age. Just like the Bronze Age, there was probably like multiple little like revolutions within that, right? That changed the way people think about it, but it was still part of the Bronze Age. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, so I think information age is like a larger span. And the software revolution is a smaller span within it. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. No, I don't know. I'm not sure. But I do really love streaming. Just hanging out, working on stuff, chatting and ranting. What would be better? Snowboarding. Sure, right? Can't snowboard all day, every day, though. But yeah, so in building out AutoBleep, I believe I discovered Whisper.cpp, and then, like, we didn't use Whisper.cpp for this, but we did use Whisper timestamped. And I think in my discovery of, like, Whisper implementations, we found Whisper.cpp and realized that it could be done with WASM. And then that, right, got us to this link, realizing that could work in your browser, got us to the idea that we could implement our own dictation software. And none of this stuff would have ever happened if I wasn't streaming. I consider streaming a superpower. Because no matter what, even though I get distracted and we rant, we're still ranting somewhat on topic. You know? I'm not just sitting here playing some video games. I think one of the biggest things that got me hooked on streaming, and we're like revolving back to like the start of stream where I was talking about this kind of stuff, is I don't work on my side projects off stream. And that's not a thing that I do as a conscious decision. Like, I made it seem like that, and I think that was wrong of me. It's that I could be working on my side project, or I could be 100%ing something like The Witcher. What am I actually going to gain more from? Like, I definitely do want to 100% The Witcher, right? Or Witcher 3, technically, right? No, it's not even that deja vu. It's before I started streaming, I had project ideas, and I worked on them sparingly. I would get distracted fairly easily. I think most of us do. Stream is a way to keep me more on task than I would be without it. I have gotten so many side projects done, so many ideas from my brain into reality here on stream that never would have happened. I know this for a fact. Like, never would have happened if I was left to my own devices. If I was off stream just having doom scrolling Twitter just sitting right there. Having doom scrolling Reddit just sitting right there. And having massive time sync RPGs like PAX Day just sitting right there. A little bit, right? Like, I can't just hop over and play a game real quick. Right? This is a programming stream. Now, I might rant a bit, as is tradition, but it is still more on task than I would be otherwise. And I really do consider streaming a superpower for me. Like, some of, like, my favorite conversations here on stream have influenced projects I want to make later, right? Just because we randomly chat about it and bam, some inspiration strikes. Would that inspiration strike if I was just playing some RPG? Probably not. I'd love just playing some RPG. But I like this more. I'm just setting myself up for at some point to get the perfect job that allows me to work on open source here on stream. Oh, it'll happen eventually. I just think I need to build up my chops developer advocate wise. And then eventually someone's going to pay me to work on SDKs instead. And then make like developer advocate content as a side thing, right? Like, you know, as a portion of my time. If I could wake up at 9 a.m. and my main goal is to just hop into stream and work on some SDKs, woo! Do that until like 1 or 2 o'clock. That'd be good. So, Imam, I do something that I don't know if I recommend, but I have found a good pattern for it. I use mantine.dev for a lot of the like ready-built components, and then I use Tailwind for ad hoc styling. Now, let's see if I'm actually doing that on this application. So for a bunch of these, like, and this is why I don't recommend it as much, you know, I'm using like justify equals space between, that's Mantine thing, right? There are a few places, right? Hold on, let me just do a search. Right, so class name equals so this application is not doing that. This application is trying to stick with as much pure Mantine as we can. But there are other applications in which I have done a hybrid of Mantine and Tailwind, and it works pretty well. I would love to have a more like a more Tailwind focused Mantine. I would love to have a more Tailwind focused Mantine. One of the most important things I think that Mantine has are these hooks, right? How many times have you had to do a click outside? Hold on, where even is it, right? Utilities, use, what's a good one? Use click outside, right? You open a drop down to click outside of it to close it, right? You can click inside it and it works. How many times have you had to implement your own click outside? You know, like there's a bunch of hooks already there. And you can grab those hooks too, but man, like just having the core stuff, like an app shell immediately. Like, dude, the app shell, let's open an example of it, right? Just this app shell where you got the top bar, you got your sidebar, you got your main thing, and the sidebar and the nav bar are independently scrollable. I've built that myself a bunch of times. We could also just use Mantine to do it. Right, so there's just a bunch of stuff in there. But really, the main selling point of any of these are just abstracting out the things that you don't want to do yourself. Right? Like password inputs, number inputs, blah, blah, blah. Even with the password input here. Oh, wait, they even have the button now? Wait, really? See, I've had to implement this button a bunch of times on my own because we weren't using Mantine in the project we used it on. Like, who here has had to implement a show hide functionality for a password input in the past 6 months? When I was working as an engineer, yeah, it was a regular thing. All the damn time. Yeah, right? Like, you lose count because it's BS. And the thing that you're using doesn't support it, but you still gotta do it. So you do it. Yeah, right? Like, there's so many of these things that you will have to implement so many times. Ooh, so ShadCN is, I want to say, like, lower level, right? ShadCN is if you want to create your own design system. So you get way more power out of ShadCN because it's more like a generator than it is a component library. ShadCN generates a base component for you, and then you add more to, like a ShadCN component. Like, almost always, right? So I don't consider ShadCN a component library. I consider ShadCN a component generator. And once you, like, start realizing that, then it becomes really useful and important as a design system, like, building block. Like, ShadCN's genius. It's awesome. But so far, ShadCN doesn't implement everything I need of it. Right? There are so many inputs and things in here that I'd have to use a ShadCN generator for and then add my own stuff on top of it. Like a file button. Right? To upload an image or some shit. Right? Like a copy button to copy a URL. Yeah, like ShadCN is like a lower level, in my opinion. It is to help you make your own Mantine, basically. Or your own component library, or your own design system. Which means you have more control as well. So yeah, ShadCN's awesome. But every time I've used it, I felt like I was doing a lot more work than I wanted to. So if I was building out an application that I wanted to maintain and, like, have many applications tied together with a consistent UI and have a design system for all of that stuff, oh, ShadCN for sure. If I just want to launch up a quick, like, prototype application, I'm not using ShadCN. Absolutely not. Right, so I want to point out, like, Mantine is for stuff where you don't want to customize it too heavily. You do have a lot of power for customizing it. Like, I don't want to, like, throw shade at Mantine, but you're going to have more power with ShadCN. You're going to have more power building out your own components. Whatever, right? And there will be people out there that say, like, well, I could shave 30 kilobytes off my build. Yeah, if I'm doing a prototype, I don't care about those 30 kilobytes. I don't give a shit. If I'm building a dashboard application, those 30 kilobytes are probably so much less than the megabytes of data we're going to need to actually display inside of this dashboard. Like the last company I worked at. It was a Kubernetes, like, infrastructure tool. The amount of data we were having to load for large companies was insane. Like, megabytes upon megabytes. Megabytes upon megabytes of just data to throw into a graph, you know? The actual, like, payload size for the application itself, super minimal, comparatively. Now, could we shave more? Absolutely. It was a Vue application that was pivoting to a React application. I got there halfway through that pivot, and the biggest thing that I was working on before shit happened and they had to lay off, like, most of the team was we were pivoting from Webpack to Vue. And that was nice. Like, every coworker I had was like, yeah, when I need to like launch up the dev tools and like, you know, like start doing dev work, I'll do like, you know, npm run dev or yarn dev, or I forget which one we're using, and then it takes 5 minutes and I get up and go make a coffee or something. And it's like, dude, we can use Vite and make this so much better. We can speed up our build times in production, right? Or in like DevOps, right? In our pipelines by using Vite as well. Like there was so much we would benefit from doing it, but yeah, that was one of the things that I didn't quite get to finish due to there were some tricky bugs from dependencies that prevented the Vite from like being like an easy merge. Like basically, once we built it out in a Vite way, some of the things, like a lot of the CSS didn't load in the same order anymore. And that became tricky. So like some like views didn't render the same, and we had like major like diff issues. So we couldn't merge it yet. Right? We don't want to break the UI, basically. And I wish I could have finished that. That was such a good, like, such a good task. Yeah, the more senior you get, the less you deal with what the user actually sees, and the more you deal with like how the application builds itself. It's kind of a bummer, actually. You see less of like the fruits of your labor, and then you only hear about like other developers praising you for how much better it got. But yeah, anyway. I know. We're taking our sweet time. We do need to transfer this other task. No, that's a shadier way to say it, right? Anyone can make a UI, but to make a UI well still requires effort. So yeah, as a senior, you're going to be reviewing other people's code for that UI and point out when they should be using a form so a user can press enter and have it work, rather than just having disparate input fields and then a button, right? Like, there's certain things that just as a senior, you understand about, like, the platform, like the web itself, and how you should work with the platform rather than, like, ignoring it. Accessibility, like, all sorts of stuff, right? Pairing up with a dev when they have a tricky bug. That's some of my favorite stuff, actually. I do miss being an engineer. A little bit. Yes, exactly, Remus. Absolutely. Right? You can hack something out real quick, and you watch me do it all day here on stream. The stuff I do here on stream is, I'll admit, lower quality than what I did, like, on the job. Right? There is more of an expectation for what you're doing for work than there is for just some random side project like the one we got. Like, the bugs that you guys are experiencing with it, yeah, those bugs are going to persist because we're going to work on another project here soon. It's a bummer. If you want to fix it, go for it. It's open source. But until I am actually using Orderly, I'm not going to care enough to fix it. And I'm not ready to, like, record the new book, or the book yet, right? So yeah, there's definitely something to that. It means that someone actually used it, right? There you go, Remus. That's a good way of looking at it. I have the lucky disposition of streaming, and there's people watching that are totally willing to test it out. So I'm super lucky, and that's why I think anyone trying to do startup stuff should be streaming. You will build an audience of more than willing testers. And I'm not sure if it was a troll or someone joking, or if it was actually them, but like, I was doing a mobile app at one point using Expo. One of the devices that connected was Benawad's phone. That's amazing, dude. That's so cool. He's big time, you know? But he was still just hanging out. testing the app. That's powerful, man. I think that's really cool. Right? Streaming is such a platform for the startup engineer. If you're building in public, you should actually be building in public, not just posting your fucking monthly recurring revenue on Twitter. But yeah, real quick, let me go use the restroom. I'll be right back. Ooh, that Disney Plus theme. Nailed it. Ooh, there you go, Omni. Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. Ooh, hold on. So, happens more than you believe. You met a dude that changed your life from a Twitter DM. You do online arbitrage and build internal tools, did some freelance backend, Django or Fast API auth, billing, and API wrappers. Yeah, that's awesome, Remus. Yeah, for sure. Oh, and you just followed, too. I'm sorry, I'm not seeing my notifications. Yeah, my bad. So, Remus, thank you for that follow. Bosscans, we shouted out. Chugging Coffee, I missed. Husky NZ Official, I missed that one, too. Those were hours ago. And then just 5 minutes ago, Neural Blob. Yeah, welcome. Yeah, streaming is just, it's so fun. I really, really recommend streaming to everyone I can. There are good days and bad days, you know. But I also attribute streaming to just... Hold on, let me think about how to phrase this. I feel like because of streaming, I've gotten to like meet and chat with so many awesome people, right? Like Jamin from Chain React and Infinite Red. Such an awesome, wholesome dude, right? Just really cool, man. And he shouts me out more often than he probably should even. Just so cool. Like, he came into stream at one point thinking he wanted to stream, and he asked me about streaming, and I just chatted with him for a good 20 minutes to half hour about, yeah, if you want to set up your stream, here's what I think you need to do. Like, doesn't mean I'm correct, but the conversational aspect of streaming, I think, is extremely powerful. You're not just here presenting about what you're working on. No. You're chatting with people. Like, I don't know. I really like it. Even if it's learning what not to do. Exactly. Exactly. Maybe don't drink 7 whiskeys on stream. We're only on number 3. Chill. We're good. I should water it down a little. No, so Omni, it wasn't CSS itself, it was how these things were being imported. So it's because we still had a bunch of like Vue stuff. And in part of that Vue stuff, like basically Vue has the idea of scoped CSS. React does not. So that's one big part of it. Now, I haven't looked at that code base in maybe like 8 months. Yeah, scoping should help, but React doesn't have scoping by default. Nope, doesn't have it. So it would require going through all the CSS files where things are breaking and then adding some scoping manually. And that's doable, that's a thing. But it's a process, and I was in the middle of that process. After having already fought, no. Omni, no. That's the wrong way to think about it. Vue gave people something for free without them realizing what it implied. And when you have an application written in one framework and you're migrating to another, you can no longer make the same assumption. That's not the fault of either framework. It's the fault of rewriting things at various times. Now, here's the thing. It was a Vue 2 application before I got there, right? When they started the React migration, it was still Vue 2. So it was either going to be a refactor to Vue 3 or React. And I think the choice to migrate to React was actually the right choice, simply for the act of being able to hire other people. There are more React engineers or experienced engineers in React than there are in Vue, just numbers-wise. That is the number one reason why I think a lot of startups opt for React. It's why enterprises that have enough people and can train people up and have the infrastructure for it would opt for something like Angular or Vue or whatever, right? But probably not Vue, probably Angular instead. But the idea is that Angular has enough structure, and there's a lot of other things to it, and Angular does ship with scoping, right? Startups will opt for React simply because they know there are plenty of developers out there that they can train up on their own specific flavor of React. Because everyone's React project is its own special, unique snowflake. Whereas at least with an Angular application, less so. Right? With a Vue application, less so. But the hiring pool is massive for React. If you're an engineer greenfielding an application that you know is going to need more people in the future, you're actually doing a disservice to everyone around you by not writing it in React. At this point, currently. Oh, I've done Svelte, absolutely. So here's the thing, Remus, as nice as it is, right? There are still patterns to working with Svelte and SvelteKit, right? And you have to teach those patterns. With a competent engineer, you can teach those patterns. Having been on the hiring side at a company like a life insurance company, like I was the one doing the interviews with the engineers that were passed to us from some contracting company BS, like consultancy, whatever. I had zero confidence I could train these people on Angular. Now, it's not just because, like, well, hold up, like, were they bad engineers? No. Like, and was the consulting company or whatever, right? The agency or, I forget, right? The staffing company. Were they at fault too? No. It's probably the fault of the life insurance company not offering a reasonable rate. They got me on a deal because it was still more than I was making at the agency I was at before. Like, they got me on a deal. Like, we launched that entire application. The front end was basically just me, right? Like, there was so much that I had to build out for that thing. Oh, and we'll allow that. Yeah. Sorry, it got flagged. You're good. But yeah, the idea is basically, when you are in a rigid, structured framework, it is harder to teach people that framework if they're not familiar already. So the 1 or 2 engineers we had that were familiar with Angular, one of them we hired. Another one, no. Because they lied on their resume. But that, like, man, that's the thing you're going to deal with. When it came time to interview React engineers that they passed to us, there was a point at which I was interviewing people for my job. They didn't tell me that because I was a contractor at the time. I was working through an agency for the life insurance company. It was like getting towards the point where the project needed someone that was senior, and I was helping interview for that. They didn't tell me I was interviewing for my own job, like interviewing other people for it, but I knew I was. And I was okay with it because I was at a consultancy. That's the nature of the game, right? If you're not building a project in a way that you can hand it off to someone else, you're fucking up. And I really do think, even though I left that job somewhat prematurely, there was so much more I could have done to make it better. We were able to onboard one engineer, and I believe they were able to lead that front end with me not there without having senior experience about what interceptors are and all that stuff. Yeah, like, I don't know. I think I set that project up for someone else to actually fill in, right? No, so here's the thing, Omni. I didn't hire my replacement. I tried to, because I was trying to do it the right thing, right? The ethical thing is to do it the right way, interview for people that could fill that role. There wasn't a single person that we got that was going to be able to understand the interceptor pattern for why we're using interceptors for all of our auth logic, right? Like, oh yeah, we get a 403 or a 401. Yeah, log that person out. 403, iffy. But normally when you get a 403, someone's doing something they shouldn't. But yeah, like you get a 401, you log the person out because it's probably an expired token. They relog in. Bim, bam, boom. Right? But the interceptor, like logic, was foreign to every single person I interviewed. Even one of the Angular engineers I interviewed, they failed the interceptor question too, but they were actually a solid like engineer. They just had worked at a company where they weren't the person that did that. But if I knew I was hiring for my own role, that person would have to actually be able to understand what an interceptor is and why it's important. No. So an interceptor, on the front end specifically, this is a dashboard application without any server-side backend, right? This is just static assets. And let me get more music, right? Because I think the interceptor pattern is one of the most fundamentally important things you can do in a dashboard-style application that doesn't have server-side rendering whatsoever. Right? You're talking about a server hook in SvelteKit, right? Not Svelte itself, but SvelteKit. In Svelte, I would also assume that you need an interceptor for HTTP requests that get a 401. And hey, what's up, Salt and Burnham? I went to Chain React. I was hoping I'd see you there, but yeah, you weren't giving a talk, so I get it. Oh, and hold up. Let's shout out Ninjatron. And here's something. I'm going to switch over and do this. Do I have a scene for this? Boom. Yeah. Welcome, everybody, from the raid.
Greatness.
How you
Imagine
doing?
Ninjatron as a top competitor in the futuristic sport of Aeroblade, a thrilling competition where athletes navigate through an obstacle course with high-tech, jet-powered gliders.
Aeroblade.
Was during the
Ooh,
World
that sounds
Aeroblade
good.
Championships, where Ninjatron executed a daring mid-air spiral maneuver to dodge laser gates and took a shortcut through the blade tunnel, securing a record finish time that remains unbeaten. Ninjatron is also celebrated for being the first to complete the entire league season undefeated, revolutionizing tactics in the sport.
Hell yeah. Aeroblade star extraordinaire, Ninjatron. How you doing? What you up to? Yeah, what were you working on? I believe I saw Wasm? Prototyping a Wasm SDK for Fly.io. Would you like to know more? Yes, I would. I would absolutely love to know more. What does that mean specifically? Is that for like running Wasm on Fly.io machines? Like if you want to write Rust and just launch it up nice and easy to a Fly.io deployment? Compile it to Wasm and you're good to go, like similar to how you might do it for Cloudflare. Oh, you're using XDism? Oh, nice. I have proposed at least one talk about XDism to a conference. I hope I hear back about that one. XDism is such a cool tool. Oh, it's such a cool tool. Yeah, for sure. Did you like publicize that you were going to be doing some XDism stuff? Because the dude that makes it, Nilslice, that's him, right? Nilslice is the XDism guy, right? I think I'm remembering that, right? Yeah. Oh, he's so cool. All right, I was going to say, like, did you tweet it out? Because he will happily join, like, yeah. He will happily, like, yeah, he is, like, really into it. He's very, like, active. Ah, that's so cool. Ah, that's so cool. Like today during your stream? Or just like on a previous stream? Dude, yeah. XDism is such an awesome tool. You said yeah, but I said two things. So I'm not sure which it is now. Because I talked too fast. That's the chat delay. That's my fault. That's my fault. My bad. Zig PDK, is that like the plugin development kit? He was there today. Oh, dude, that's awesome. Nice. That is awesome. Yeah, I have actually proposed a couple talks about XDism. Oh, hold on, wait. I think that's actually the talk I had accepted to SquiggleCon. Hold on, let me double check. Ooh, yeah, that's the talk I had accepted to SquiggleCon. Yeah. I'll hit them up and see if they got some budget to help me out with that. If not, I'm fine to give the talk anyway. Like, yeah. I already confirmed I'm going to SquiggleConf, but yeah. So yeah, do you know Joshua Goldberg? He streamed here on Twitch. He does a lot of like ESLint or like TS ESLint, like TypeScript for ESLint stuff, like just awesome DevTools person. I would say just right now, as soon as you can, hit up Joshua Goldberg. Just let him know that, like, hey, just in case you don't have all the people or someone drops out, like, if that's something you can do. Right? Like, sooner rather than later, right? Don't do it like a week before the event, but like they just did the announcements of who got in and who didn't. So just like throw it out there to him like, hey man, I could do a talk still if it makes sense, if you're interested, blah, 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 and if you need space. You could always be on standby. Within reason, right? You gotta book flights and all that BS. Yeah, you definitely should. Yeah, shoot him a message, for sure. Wait, is it? Hold on, did I mix up the dates? I thought TwitchCon was later. September 20th to 24th. Nah, or hold on, 20th to 22nd. Nah, we're totally good. Yeah, SquiggleConf is like October something. So yeah, basically it's like a week after TwitchCon. Yeah, so October 3rd to 4th, there's a week, like, leeway between them. So yeah, I'm fine with that. Yeah, no reason, Tron. Have a good one. Yeah, I've got, like, dude, what is it about the fall where, like, all of these talks, like, schedule themselves within a week of each other? That's kind of crazy to me. So Remus, honestly, the best way to learn that stuff is just to start building projects. You'll figure out what you like and don't like about it. I don't think Gang of Four really addresses, like, project structures. And I don't remember the interceptor pattern being part of the Gang of Four. Let's just, yeah. Instead of Angular Interceptor, and let's switch over. Let's switch back. So, yeah. We were telling a story before we got the awesome raid from Ninjatron. And yeah, we're like slowly hacking on just random open source stuff and ranting, which is what I'm best at. The idea of an interceptor is you have a single place in which you handle certain errors, right? So the main, like, question, right? Here's the context for everyone joining from the raid. At one point at a previous job, like 3 jobs ago, I was interviewing people for my job, basically, because I was a contractor and, you know, as a good engineer and as a good person and contractor in general, you will interview people for your job. It's gonna happen, right? Because you're doing stuff for a client rather than for your company. That happened, whatever. I was interviewing people for it, and one of the questions I would ask, because they would need to know and understand interceptors to actually take my job, which I am fine with. The idea is, if the user gets a 401 request from the back end, where would you handle that to log them out? Like, what would the process look like? And the majority of people I interviewed were not senior engineers, even though they said they were. They said, well, I'd just handle it like on the route that had that problem, right? So even if they are obeying a proper smart component and presentational component architecture, right? Where the smart component's the only thing doing like HTTP requests, and then presentational components just take in data for their rendering. Even if they're doing that, their response was that they would handle the 401 on every single smart component that makes requests. On any significantly sized application, that's like 20 places minimum. Hell no. Hell no. You use an interceptor and you handle that in one place. In React applications I built that didn't have an Angular interceptor built in, I have patched that stuff around to use Axios interceptors instead, just simply because that's how we have to do it. Now, it did involve on every route instantiating a wrapper class for our API fetching that would inject the router so that we could do router.redirect or whatever, router.next, or route, I forget the next, or the React router thing for like going to a route, like redirecting something. But yes, I would have to inject the React router instance into the abstraction I built so that I could do it in just one place. But it works. Totally works. No, Remus, this is authorization still. What do you do when your token expires? You get a 401 request when it is expired. When that happens, how do you handle it? Login happens once, and then the user is logged in until their token is done for, or until you decide to revoke it. When that token is no longer valid, how do you handle that situation? That is a 401, typically, right? Not a 401 from the login screen, but a 401 from anywhere else. How do you handle that redirect to login? That is the interceptor's job. You don't want to do that on every single page that requires auth. So that's the point I'm making, right? It's not handled way beforehand because it happens every single time you make a request. So that's what I'm getting at. I was interviewing people for my job for a senior level to understand when and how and why you might get a 401 and how you handle that and where. And it should happen in one place. Until you've built enough applications doing it the wrong way, you don't know what the right way is. I've built enough applications where I messed up, and I knew better. Luckily, those were side projects of my own rather than client projects, but still, I've messed that up enough to know better. You're not a senior until you fucked up enough. That's actually the definition of a senior. You made enough mistakes to not make those same mistakes. And it's not about simple mistakes. It's about architectural mistakes. Right? It's about mistakes that have a massive impact on the entire application rather than just like, oh yeah, I forgot a semicolon or some BS, or like that's the worst example. Right? And yeah, Remus, I'm lucky my dad said that quote. Not like literally, but the only reason he knows everything, or knows anything, is because he has made so many mistakes. We learn more from a mistake than we do from success. Categorically, like, in general. You don't know something on the stove is too hot to touch until you burn your finger. And then you know. Right? Someone can tell you as many times as they want that that's too hot to touch. But until you actually touch it, you don't know. You only know what you've been told. Maybe. I don't know, right? Like, we don't need to be, like, self-aggrandizing there. Like, I've already done enough of that today. But yeah, basically, this was one of my favorite, like, interview questions for a senior engineer who is going to take over, like, the lead front-end role on an application. Like, a full-on application. I'm not talking about some remix app. Yeah, probably you want to do that with a remix app still, but I don't know. The patterns do change a bit. How does that work, Remus? Oh, I'm really curious about that bug now. But yeah, let me continue hacking something out while you explain that to us. Well, obviously, yeah, that's the simple solution. Now, it sounds like to me there was some bug that was causing the large one to be shipped to people that didn't actually order that. Right? Like maybe they were ordering extra large and something in the system was just like working that and sending them a large instead. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'd love to hear more about like how you diagnosed that, how you dealt with it. That sounds tricky. I hope he's okay with the party command. I think that shit sucks. Oh, interesting. They should have ordered the XL. They would buy an XL maybe and a large and then return the large just to like double check and make sure. Interesting. Okay. Oh damn, I just saw Theo's tweet. Really rough weekend. Very drained. My guess is it probably took him way too many hours to get back home because of the airline kerfuffle. And that's just chaos. That's really funny to me. Alright, I'm doing another. Fuck it. We should wrap up soon. I got so much more, like, editing to do. God, I got so much video editing to do. Was it really an intern that pushed to prod? The CrowdStrike thing was an intern? I hadn't heard that part yet. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna say names, but I just randomly clicked into the list of people lurking. You guys are awesome. Thank y'all. Yeah, no, I don't think that was an intern thing. But I think, realistically, it reinforces the idea that nobody should push on a Friday. Just don't do it. Wouldn't be prudent. Not gonna do it. Wouldn't be prudent. So yeah, I'm currently, for everyone joining from the raid, for everyone just maybe joining in recently, we have Orderly, this tool that we made. It is an audio dictation tool. I need an editor. I really do need an editor. So Unemployed Dev, though, this is for work, right? So it'd be weird for me to pay someone to edit my work stuff. Oh, thanks, Remus. Yeah, I appreciate that. I need to actually make more, like, YouTube videos. Yeah, this one I need to work on and edit. This one's for work. This is for Get Kraken. I need to record more videos for my own stream. And yeah, like Theo, he rightfully brags about making 7 videos every time he streams, basically. Like, on average. That's amazing. That's genius. Like, man, I am in awe of it. I'm less in awe of the current event style videos. Like, dude, he was stressing to get a video out about CrowdStrike the day it happened, you know? Right? Because he does so much, like, current event stuff that he has to do the current event stuff. Now, I think he loves doing it, actually. I don't think he actually minded that stress. I think he really enjoys being, like, the current events guy. So, yeah, more power to him. I would never want to do that. Right? I want videos that I could happily procrastinate. And he does some of those, too. Keep that in mind. But, yeah, no, like, trying to do the current events thing, that sounds so stressful. He does it well, Prime does it well, like, yeah, a lot of people do it well. I don't think I'm gonna try to do any of that myself. Like, we do our news crawl. And if I was on it, I could publish that stuff like the day I read it, and that'd be worth it. I'm good on it. If it's good enough content, it's still valid a month later. If it isn't valid a month later, I don't think it's for me. I don't think it's good content for me. You have a problem with procrastination and can't focus on anything. Ooh, light up. Yeah. We were talking about this earlier. Part of the reason why I stream is because I am more focused on the thing I'm doing, streaming, and getting distracted by chat than I would be if I was on my own time. If I'm on my own time for side projects, for work I can focus, I can make that happen. But for side projects, none of these things that I make on stream would have ever been made. I would have gotten maybe 3 projects made in like the 6 years I've been streaming, you know? Because it's so easy to just hop over to a game. So easy to just doom scroll some Twitter. So easy to just doom scroll some Reddit and feel worse about yourself if you interact with any of the subreddits. Like, especially the web dev. Right? Instead, maybe light up. Maybe you should start streaming. Right? Being 60% productive on stream is still way better than 5% productive off stream. Thank you. Have you seen the size of this nose? I don't know, man. I think you're good. I think you got this. If you're really that self-conscious, just do a VTuber thing, man. Right? Just get an avatar and do that. Fuck it. You should definitely try it. Like, I think it's kind of fun. I would say specifically if you're trying to do side projects and you can't motivate yourself to work on side projects. Now, keep in mind, you can also go like low budget and do a PNG tuber. Right? PNG tuber is a much lower like cost on your dev machine, etc. Because you don't need motion capture, you don't need any other bullshit. Hold on. PNG tube, I think. GitHub. Right? Here's something you could just fork and do your own thing with. Is this the one I forked? Oh, PNG Tube 2. I think this is the one I've missed. Yeah. Right? So yeah, you can go like low budget with it and just use like images and make it like, you know, change the image or flap like a Canadian. Do I still have that actually? Hold on. Yeah, I'm not sure I have my own, like, PNG tube. I mean, I had it. I think I lost it. And by streaming, you can avoid doing the video editing. Exactly. Ooh, light it up, or light up. I would say you're better off doing a PNG tuber than a no face thing. The no face thing is tough. Like, there are people that make it work. The only person I've seen really make it work is, oh god, what's their name? They do like the shaving soap video in the corner. You need something for people to stare at besides your code. I would recommend doing a VTuber or a PNG tuber like aspect instead. God, what is it? The Ludwig dev. Yes, exactly, unemployed dev. It starts with an O, right? Automatic, right? No, not the coffee maker. Twitch? Automated? Ah, yep. I'm pretty sure this is... No? Yeah, that's them. That's their icon, for sure. Damn, 126k. Yeah, they're big time. Yeah, and see? Like the soap shaving. That's like their biggest content. Just shaving soap. Right? They might do some dev. Like, people are there to watch soap get shit. You know? But yeah, you could always get started in some way. So what? I mean, it sounds like it's already bruised. My question is, how is it different than how it is now? Right? You're already bruising your own ego by not doing anything and procrastinating, right? If anything, I feel like it would give you more confidence, right? Fuck them kids. You know, like Michael Jordan style. Your stream is your own safe space. You can ban whoever you want. You can mute them. You can ignore them, right? You don't even have to look at chat. Realistically, I do recommend looking at chat, but honestly, it's up to you. I'm not saying you have to, but it's the way that I personally got more like side project stuff done. Now, if I hadn't gotten addicted to streaming, could I have made it to like staff or principal engineer somewhere maybe? Right? By just putting in the work, heads down, like working my ass off? Maybe. That doesn't sound nearly as fun though. And I really do still think I am capable of staff or principal engineer. Like I really do think I am. But at the moment, developer advocate, it fits nice, feels all right, it's comfy. Bare minimum, I stream 5 days a week and no one's actually gotten upset at me about it. Yeah, so Lida. Easiest way to get staff is to start as a senior and work yourself up to staff. And then once you have staff on your resume, it's easier to get staff again. Yes, I am a developer advocate at GetKraken. I think I have a command for it. Yeah. This is my first role as a developer advocate. I feel like because I stream, because I love giving like conference talks, because I love just, you know, chatting about tech, making videos about it, etc., I decided it was worth pivoting into developer advocacy. I have had this dream for easily like 6 to 8 years. That was a zero interest rate phenomenon, sure. Developer advocate is already a principal level role? I don't think so. No. So, the big thing is staff and principal are more like, they're a different track, right? Developer advocate is closer to like the marketing track than it is like the engineering track. For engineering, there is basically, you know, junior, software engineer, then, right, senior, and beyond senior, then it goes to like staff or principal. Technically, at some organizations, it's staff then principal, but really, at the right organization, staff and principal have different goals. Staff is about like internal, like tools and development, etc. Principal is about product, right? But realistically, you're going to work yourself to either one of those from senior. At the wrong organizations, you have to serve as staff before you can become principal, but they have separate goals. Staff is about improving the productivity of devs around you and other teams around you, and communicate or facilitating communication between teams and all that stuff. Principal is similar, but more product focused and more like externally facing, right? Like you care more about like the customer than you do about the devs and getting their job done, right? So staff is focused on helping devs be more productive, whereas principal is about delivering better value to users. Here's the thing, light up. Experience doesn't matter as much for staff. When you're looking at staff and principal, your soft skills are actually more important than your hard skills. Staff and principal are more about communication than they are about your technical prowess. And that might be why you're like feeling pigeonholed to senior, because you're not focusing on your soft skills for communication. Yeah, that's the thing, Sergeant Pepper. I think it's tough, right? At some companies, they have the proper distinction. At other companies, they're just different tiers. So it depends on the company you're at. But the best companies I've heard of that do the staff and principal thing, they're actually like a separate track. Right? They're like a divergence from senior. But they still involve heavy soft skills. Communication, chatting, dealing with problems, right? You need somewhat of a managerial mindset for staff and principal. Right? It's about how people work together more so than the code that they write. And I could be wrong there, Sergeant Pepper. Keep in mind, I've never held those roles myself, but I've read about them, and this is my understanding from reading about them. That's all. Yeah, some companies are not big enough to separate them, and then it just becomes a pay band. I totally get that. Yeah, no more than 10 engineers. I don't think anyone deserves to be staff or principal anyway. You're all just senior, or you're a VP, right? Yeah, like, if you're less than 10 engineers, the titles are meaningless. Yeah, I'm strictly speaking from my understanding of how companies like Google and Facebook and like big organizations deal with the differentiation between staff and principal. And this is only from reading, again, not personal experience, so I could be wrong. Anyone out there who's actually done it at the larger organizations, feel free to let me know. But like I've like reinforced this learning from chatting with other people that do work at those companies. So keep that in mind. Yeah, no worries, Omni. Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. I just want to make sure like other people could chime in too, right? Thank you. Light up. Here's the thing. An accent is so easy to fix. It just requires a little bit of conscious effort. It depends on where they work. Sometimes they're Omni. It really does depend on where they work. Like the region the company is based in, like all that stuff. Here in the US, Australian accent, super cool. Yeah, for sure. But if they're not born Australian, right? They're from a country closer to India. Yep. Yeah, so that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, so light up. Here's the thing. A speech therapist is cheap. Comparatively. I like how you assumed Pakistan. Is that correct, Light Up? And you don't have to say the country if you don't want to. Okay, so not Pakistan. Other side? It's fine. Like, no worries. You don't have to say. No, it's not a problem. Okay. Cool. Yeah, it's awesome. But what I would say is, speech therapy is comparatively cheap. Right? If you want to improve your accent, you can totally do it. You can totally do it. You can do it yourself on your own time, or you can actually pay money to have someone coach you on it. Right? I think if you feel like that is holding you back, that's one of the easiest things to fix, actually. I don't know if that's holding you back, because I really do think, based upon your previous, comments and conversations, your previous comments, I should say, in this conversation, you are judging people that are staff based upon their technical prowess without recognizing the soft skills. And that also kind of hints at maybe a slight lack of soft skills on your part. So you may want to work on your soft skills more as well, but maybe, speech therapy is cheap. Kung Fu! Nice. Loki, you sound like an evil genius at this point. Yeah. And I totally get that, Omni. I would say, though, a concerted, conscious effort of just trying other people's accents. Right? One of my favorite parts of early South Park is it's the Chin Pokemon episode, right? The Japanese executives are sitting there, they're chatting, doing just a terrible stereotypical Japanese accent that is obviously done by Trey Parker and Matt Stone. But then there's the bit where they're like, hold on, let me do the American. I'll use my credit card. And they start laughing at each other, right? It's amazing. It's really good, right? You can put on an accent anytime you want. So here's the thing, Light Up. You can be you as much as you want. They can. They totally can. But what do you think you're going to have more success with? This isn't about what's right. This is about what's going to happen. You can hope in one hand and shit in the other and see which fills up first. I know that's the crudest way I could phrase that. But at some point, you got to recognize it, right? At some point, you have to recognize the game that you're playing and optimize around it. If you're kind of an asshole, right? You might want to just be kind of an asshole at work. You're never going to get far being kind of an asshole. Instead, maybe try to be less of an asshole. You know why I'm saying this? Because I've had to do it. I'm kind of an asshole. At work, I have to be less of an asshole. So I went to Render ATL, and Kelsey Hightower gave one of the best talks I've ever seen in person, for sure. Right? It's not as good as the birth and death of JavaScript, but it was one of the best conference talks I've ever seen. And there was a bit in which he's talking about yeah, I know, right? Yeah, you're a junior, you're trying to get your first dev job, you're maybe trying to get your second dev job. You want to be your authentic 100% self, right? You want to be that person, blah, blah. You can't afford that yet, right? You just can't do it. You can't afford to be you yet. You do the stuff that makes it work, and then you can be you. And I'm paraphrasing for sure. But yeah, Kelsey Hightower put that very, very well, especially in person. At some point, being your full, authentic self isn't the move. Right? This isn't your friends and family. This isn't finding a wife. Even when you're trying to find, like, a girlfriend and a wife, you're not your full, authentic self from the start. You'd never get a second date. None of us would. You gotta warm people up to the asshole that you are on the inside. You know? Nobody is their full, authentic self from the start in any relationship. Whether it's an employment relationship or a intimate relationship, nobody is their full, authentic self from the start. It doesn't happen. In pretty much no relationship you'll ever have is being your full, authentic self from the start. Sure, yeah. 1 week in, you go to the bathroom to fart. You know, 1 year into a relationship, yeah, you're gonna Dutch oven them as a joke, right? For sure. But you don't Dutch oven on the first date, or the second date, or the first time they spend the night at your house. You don't do that, man. You do not Dutch oven somebody the first time they stay over. They'll never stay over again. No, Owen, you're misunderstanding. They're talking about, like, the time frame being, like, how long you've dated someone. If you're dating someone for a week and they're staying the night at your house, yeah, you go to the bathroom to fart. You absolutely go to the bathroom to fart. There's not a human being in the world that doesn't do that. Or they're a person that doesn't get second dates. You know, like, whatever, right? But after a year of dating someone, you could full-on Dutch oven that person. And if not, it's not going to last. I don't know what that term is. All I'm saying is you have to wear a little bit of camouflage at any role. And once you've proved yourself, once you've worked your way up, you can be more of yourself. And that works in intimate relationships, that works in business, that works everywhere. John Juan. All right. That is heinous. The heinous anus, right? The worst cookie brand compared to Famous Amos, for sure. But man, yeah, that is the full-on heinous anus right there. Wow. That is brutal there, John. Light Up. I'm not saying you have to. And I know it sucks. I wish it wasn't that way. I wish we could all be ourselves day one on the job. No. I'm sorry, just reality doesn't work that way. You gotta build up enough goodwill with people that they can actually understand the parts that they're not as comfortable with. And if you think your accent is part of it, then you know what to do. So Light Up, at some point, you're in your own head about that stuff. If you are fun to work with, good at chatting with people, and you get your shit done, No one cares what you look like, man. Light up, you're misunderstanding. Your skills are not staff. Your communication, your ability to chat and build a rapport with people is the important part. And I think you're missing that. Absolutely. Right? If you think your accent and the color of your skin and all this stuff, you can think that all you want, and I can't tell you you're wrong, because that's your perception, that's your experience, and I mean, look at me, I can't identify with that. I don't know. But I'm a fucking jerk. I can't be a fucking jerk and expect to make it to staff. So I gotta mask a bit. Everybody wears a mask. Everybody wears a mask, man. You decide which mask you want to wear. I think realistically, you need to improve your social skills more than anything. You need to improve your communication and social skills, right? It's not about the work you do on your own solo. Staff and principal are about other people more than you. Your ability to work with other people is actually what dictates you getting to staff or principal, not your own technical ability. If you want to just stay focusing on your own technical ability, you can be senior forever, and that's fine. But you'll never get to staff or principal without being someone fun to work with, fun to chat with, and actually like facilitating team communication, right? Staff and principal are above individual teams because their goal is to connect and orchestrate and communicate between multiple different teams. The core of that is communication. If you're not able to facilitate communication with a bunch of different teams, you'll never be staff. And you'll never be principal. Hold on, I don't see what it is. Sorry, Sergeant Pepper. I don't even see the auto mod. Yeah, like, no. Mod view doesn't even show it. So yeah, I don't know what you're trying to say there, Sergeant Pepper. Like, no one can see it. Like, I can't even see it. So that's like auto modded in such a way that Twitch is not even stoked on. Loki, I really do feel like you're trolling at this point, right? Does that have to do with the Penguins? Right? Is the CIA trying to like organize the Penguins as like a, you know, like a stealth you know, assassination tool? Is that it? Cool. Cool. Right? Yeah, that CIA Penguin Force. I get it. But yeah, we get distracted because I am more than willing to chat about this stuff. I would say implement timeout on initial load. If it goes long enough, we should show a modal that prompts the user to download their data and then clear their OPFS data for the app, then cause a refresh. So yeah, light up. We good? You know, not trying to make you feel bad about any of this stuff. I think at this point, you do have a bit of a persecution complex. And that is, or isn't, backed up by reality. I don't know. But at the end of the day, you can either choose to focus on that, or you can choose to focus on the things that will make you better in the eyes of the people that you think are persecuting. And that's just up to you. I don't know, like, I can't tell you what to do. I can't tell you what's right. Like, I'm not saying it's right that you got a mask, but everybody wears masks. That's just human nature in general. Nobody is their full, authentic self 100% of the time. Nobody that's worth talking to, at least. It sucks to hear, but yeah, that's just life in general. No worries, life. Happy to help, for sure. I don't drink coffee, but I'll buy you a whiskey. I'm okay with that. I don't need you to buy me nothing, man. Alright, so we have finished up the stuff we needed for Orderly right now, which I'm stoked on. We should close it up, right? Because we actually need to start pivoting back to the voice actor portfolio that I would like to do. Does it mean I'm a good voice actor? I don't know, man. I don't think so, but I'd like to do it anyway. I feel like I got some voices that could be worthwhile. And I actually find joy in voice acting. Or at least, like, doing voices and reading dialogue, you know? So yeah, this next part we gotta do. Let's, yeah, we got all this done and dusted. Plans, we can just leave. Some of the voices? Well, I'll do some of the voices that I do on the Baldur's Gate stream. Alright, so the first character, they are a bard. They are boisterous, loud, and insincere. Hey there, how's it going? You want to go hear me play some music in front of all these people? It'd be fantastic, wouldn't it? Right, there you go. That wasn't the best version I've done of it. But yeah, like, being put on the spot is a little tough. It'd be easier just, you know, recording on my own without people in front of me. I can like, get deeper into it. But yeah, just think, like, Tamlin from Vox Machina. Hey there, guys! Right, like, yeah, like, you know. Like, selling you stuff on, like, late night TV. That kind of thing. Alright, here's the other one. This one's a little, like, farther off. Just imagine, like, old creepy wizard who is the Dark Urge in Baldur's Gate 3. Alright, so old creepy wizard. It's better if I had, like, a quote to say. Like, coming up with dialogue is actually harder, like, in the moment. Well, why wouldn't I loot the body? They're dead, aren't they? They're not coming back. Ooh, look at this ring. Oh, it's worthless. Right, so yeah, old creepy wizard looting some body. Sure. I don't know, I could think of some better dialogue, sure. I don't know. Ooh, I can't do a good Christopher Walken, right? When it comes to actual, like, impressions, and impersonations, I actually have to hear it. Right? Which is why, hold on, let's pull up the application. I've got a tagline that really speaks to me as a voice actor. Aspiring voice actor and mediocre impressionist. Right? So I actually, like, when I'm doing an impression, I need to, like, hear the thing I'm doing the impression of to then do it. So it's more like mimicry than proper impersonation. But I feel like I can do some decent mimicry. Get to the chopper! Get down! What are you waiting for? Do it now! Right, there you go. Yeah. That conjured the memory. I don't think it was a good one. I'd have to, like, hear him actually do it. Because I don't think I was even close. It's not a tumor! Yeah, exactly. Who is your daddy, and what does he do? Yeah, no, I'd have to hear him say it to do the proper impersonation. Right now I'm going off of, like, a really vague memory. Again, I'm a bad impressionist, I'm a bad impersonator, I'm a decent mimic. So if I could just, like, listen and hear the thing, I could do a good, like, 3 to 5 minutes of that voice, but it would fade as like, the thing goes on, and I'd have to rehear it. Have you ever watched the show Brooklyn Nine-Nine? There's a bit where they need to figure out what happened, like, where did Captain Holt go? What was he doing? We saw him on this camera, so we're gonna go here and start doing stuff. And Peralta's like, all right, hold on. Let me get into character. Let me imagine where he was. Peralta, that's enough! I'm walking. Oh, chairs. Like, you know, he, like, does his impersonation of, like, Captain Holt, and then he starts, like, losing it. And Gina's like, hold up, no, hold on, wait, what's going on? That wasn't it. He's like, all right, hold on, let me do the one that gets me back into character. Peralta, that's enough. And then he's like, boom, he's right back in character, right? He needs that hook to bring him back into the character. For me, I just need to hear the voice again to bring me back to the character. Otherwise, it starts, like, drifting. If you haven't seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine, oh, you gotta watch it. I don't know what that means, Ghibli Magic. Is that a Ghibli reference? Ooh, alright, I'll take it. Whatever. I'll take it. Oh god, we got an error. Hold on, let's go fix that error, I guess. Oh, it's a race in Dungeons and Dragons where they mimic speech. Oh, yeah, no, I guess I am. Yeah, for sure. That's, like, dead on balls accurate. It's a technical term. Oh, no, it's an industry term. Dead on balls accurate. It's an industry term. Miss Vito, are you saying to me... Again, I'm like, I'd have to hear it. I'm just such a bad impressionist without actually hearing the voice. That was the worst Joe Pesci you've ever heard. Right? Come on. That was the worst Joe Pesci you've ever heard just now. If I could just hear it, I could get into it. But it's really hard. These two Utes. I'm sorry, Mr. Gambini. What'd you just say? These Utes. Utes. What are Utes? I'm sorry. Youths. Right? Like, you know, I can at least, like, switch the characters on the fly. But those weren't great impressions. I'd have to hear them again. Yeah. Youths. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. These two youths. God, that is such a classic film. If you guys haven't seen My Cousin Vinny, you're missing out. You got homework. All right, so yeah, we are at 8:30, and I got video editing to do. I got work to do. I gotta eat some food first. Like, ugh. I don't know what I'm even eating. I'm gonna do something easy. No, I don't have any... shit. You ever been to the point where you gotta pick the food you're gonna eat based on the dishes you have available? I was like, oh, I want to eat this. Oh, no, I don't have any bowls washed. Shit. Yeah, I'm at that point right now. I got food I can eat. I just don't have dishes I can eat them on. So now I gotta, like, I can still eat some of that food. It is like, yeah, it's a good, like, family film. Yeah, my parents used to watch it a bunch with me, for sure. Yeah, I ordered out last night. Tonight, I'm eating in, but I'm doing, like, the lazy meal. I'm gonna wash all my dishes, probably late tonight, early tomorrow. We'll see, we'll see. Let's fix this real quick. No. What word do you think got replaced? Had to eat a Pop-Tart, probably cold because you didn't even have a toaster. Really? Yeah, I don't know what word it might be, but efficacy, Mr. Sir. Thank you for the sub.
Presence of greatness.
Hold on.
Imagine
What sport do you play?
efficacy as a star player in the world of competitive hoverboarding, a futuristic sport involving high-speed races on magnetic hoverboards. Their greatest
Competitive
feat came during the
hoverboarding?
International Hoverx Championships, where they executed a daring triple barrel spin over the Grand Canyon leap, a move that had never been attempted before.
You jumped the Grand Canyon?
Seconds of the race. Efficacy is also known for setting a world speed record on a hoverboard and has won the Hoverx MVP award 3 years in a row.
Wow. We're in the presence of greatness. Pitbull hoverboard? Ooh, worldwide. Yeah, for sure. That was solid. That was a good one. Yeah, thank you for that sub, efficacy, Mr. Sir. Alright, hold on. Let's fix this one bug. How hard could it be? Where do we think the bug even is? They're saying line 58. I think they're lying. Oh, that's it. No, it isn't. Oh. Oh, we got a double div. We're double dipping the div. Yeah, we were double dipping that div. Nailed it. All right, there we go. We fixed a bug on the new project and everything. All right, no big deal. All right, there we go. Yeah, end on a win? No. We should have actually ended on a bug. Wait, do I have a div now? The Adventures of Div? No, we're good. We're good. Oh, there you go, Kinslayer. Nailed it. Alright, so yeah, we at least get these things to render. We got them out there. We got bugs to fix and all that stuff. But that is a task for tomorrow to make this page actually useful. Yeah, I got plans already for what we got to do tomorrow. Yeah, I like this. She hadn't seen the Goonies? Oh, Goonies never say die. Yeah, for sure, man. All right, so who do we go raid? Who's streaming right now? Practical NPC is doing... Yeah, let's do that. All right, so overlay development, I'm into that. They usually do game dev. And yeah, I'm pumped to actually be able to raid them. Yeah, this is awesome. Yeah, they are normally a game dev stream. So the fact that we get to raid them and it's like relevant, awesome. Awesome. I'm really happy about it. So yeah, hold on. Let's chat. Let's look at who's saying farewell. Again, thank you all for hanging out. We had such a good fun day. Like, yeah. We got stuff done. We realized stuff that we couldn't do. We chatted and hung out a bunch. Like, yeah. Just awesome, right? Someone has a Loot Crate shirt that says that. Nice. You're watching Harlem Nights. Nice. Yeah, No Worries Light Up. Again, you know, I'm not saying that you should have to do it, but it is technically something that you probably have to do, right? Like, we all wear masks. The way you wear that mask, that's up to you. Whether it's the accent, whether it's whatever, I think it's more about your social skills. Your accent is less important as long as you're actually someone worth talking to. So focus on that first. And yeah, so everyone else, later, have a good night. I will see you guys soon. And yeah, YouTube and Al